Hey up. I thought I'd have a bit of a chat about this bandsaw as I've had now for a couple of years. It's the Lumberjack BS228 9-inch model. Basically it's got a 9-inch throat on it. It's only an hobby saw, you know, it's nothing professional. Sits on the bench top for the DIY, nothing too special, but you know, I've found it alright. You know, one or two people seem to knock it now and again, but I've found it okay, and it tends to cut quite accurate. You've obviously got to set them up right, and once they set up, you know, I think you can kind of go along with them quite well. I've got a standard blade in it. I'm on my second blade with it, and all I've put in is a one with sort of 10 teeth on it, 10 teeth per inch, and I've just gone with that. You know, I haven't put sort of an heavy coarse blade in it. I don't know what that'd be like. I have been planning on getting one, but you know, I've cut softwoods, I've cut hardwoods, I've cut oak floorboarding across the width of it, and it's cut it quite nice. You know, as long as you don't go mad with it, you're taking it nice and steady, then it'll do the job for you. I paid about 170 quid when I had this a couple of years ago. Probably a bit longer than that actually, probably about 2.5 years ago I've had it. And I paid about 170 quid. I think they're over 200 quid now, probably 230 quid, something like that I think, last time I looked. So they've gone up in price a bit. Initially I did buy a Titan one. When I first bought one of these saws, I bought a Titan one, and to be honest with you, I only had it a week or so, and I had problems with it. I can't remember exactly what it was now. I bought it from Screwfix. Anyway, I took it back, and they had it back off me no problem, as Screwfix do. And in the end, I decided as I wanted something a little bit better than that. Anyway, I think this is better than the Titan, and you know, from my personal point of view, it was certainly better than the original Titan one. But obviously I paid a little bit more money for this. I think the Titan one at the time, I'm sure it was less than 100 quid or just over 100 quid. So I paid probably a third more for this one, but I think it was kind of worth the money. Anyway, this one, it's got a 300 watt motor. It's got a 9-inch throat on it, so it's kind of, you get about 9-inch width of cut at maximum. I don't know what it is. Let's just check how high a cut you can do. You'll get around about 95mm max cut out of it, height wise, if you like. It's got a 52mm dust port, and I've just made this thing for me Hoover go on, to be honest with you. So that kind of fits on there like that. It's got enough power. Everything as I've put through, it's got enough power, but I don't sort of thrash it. A couple of features it's got is you open the doors, and it's got safety switches in. So as soon as you open that door, it'll cut off. Same with the bottom door as well. The thing with the bottom door, you've got to make sure you take that off when you're messing with it. But anyway, that's basically sort of the inside of it, if you like, with the blade on. If ever you change the blade, you have to take this little thing out here so that the blade can slide out. The blade itself is 1575mm. I've only tended to use the standard blades on. I have swapped the blade since I've had it. I haven't paid dear for a blade, but I have swapped it because my original one broke. and the ones I'm using have got about 10 teeth per inch. I have been toying with getting something a bit more coarse, probably 4 teeth per inch, of something like that, 6 teeth. But anyway, I haven't yet, so I haven't just kind of run it with anything like that. The belt itself is, or the blade itself is driven by this belt here. It's like a toothed rubber belt. I don't know if they're all like that, but that's how this one is. And whether they snap over time, I don't know. Just in case, I imagine it, over time it would wear or it would snap. Whereas yet, 2.5 years in, mine's okay. So I've had no issues that way. Basically, swapping the blade, it's quite easy, to be fair. You kind of undo this device here. Let me drop that down. And then on the back here, there's a lever. That lever there releases the tension of the blade. And then you just slide the blade off. So it's quite easy to get the blades on and off. There's bearings down here to hopefully keep everything in line. It's one of the best of builds, I'll be honest, certainly not in this area. All this here is plastic, which, like I've said before, it's an hobby machine, but it's plastic, and if you're going to knock it, ideally that could have done with being metal. So it's not the greatest in that department. You've got bearings down here as well, guide bearings down there. So that's all right. I'll be honest with you, if I'm going to, the things I'll pick it up on, I'll knock it for, is certainly that area there, which is, like I say, is plastic, although it hasn't caused me any problems. These things are neither use nor ornament, to be honest with you. They're not great, are they? You get them with all sorts of devices. The fence itself isn't too bad. But because the bed's only that big, I've been thinking of putting a slightly bigger bed on, to be honest with you. But because the bed's only that big, you can only go up to that size of cut if you want to use the fence for anything. The bed itself's made out of like an alley. It isn't pressed steel anyway. It's alley, like a solid bed, so that isn't too bad. Start looking around the back, and we've got this light here, which it comes in handy. That does, when you're doing your cuts. And then, like I say, you've got this piece here which takes the tension off the blade for taking that out, and this is for like tramming it, if you like, for lining it up. Like I say, this light and a push stick. So that's not too bad. Another thing, if I'm going to knock it, is when I first started setting it all up, you've got this device here for kind of leveling the bed and this, that and the other, and it all seemed a bit over the place. Anyway, I got it all lined up, a bit of messing around, it's all lined up, and like I say, it cuts pretty true, to be fair. So I don't tend to move it around for doing, say, 45-degree cuts or anything like that. I just leave it set up as it is, because I don't want to disturb it, to be honest with you. So if you're after something that you've got to kind of be moving the bed around all the time, yes, you can do it on this if you're prepared to put up with messing around with it on a regular basis, I suppose. One good feature it's got, in my opinion, it's got this drawer on it which collects a lot of the dust, or collects some of the dust. I mean, obviously I put my hoover on it a lot now, because you tend to, if you don't have an hoover on it, you tend to get a lot of dust in sort of all around the place, to be honest with you. A lot of it does drop into this drawer at the bottom, but you get a lot around the unit itself. But if you put an hoover on the port, and I don't know if I mentioned, but I think it's 52mm this dust port is, then it does keep everything quite clean. But anything that's sort of going to go down the hoover, it tends to drop into this drawer, which is like a little handy feature. Anyway, I think I've kind of covered everything on it. Like I say, you make your own choice with these things. If you want something that's substantial that you're going to use on a regular basis, you know, this isn't the tool. You know, like I say, this is an hobby machine. This is, and for a little bit of DIY now and again. But if you're after something sort of down the lower end of the market, I mean, I certainly wouldn't discard this. I mean, I've found it okay. You know, everything I've chucked at it, I've found it does the job okay. But like I say, I don't hammer it. You know, it's what it is. I take it for what it is, and it certainly does the job as I want it to do anyway. Anyway, leave it there. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be great. And hopefully I'll knock out another video soon. See you again.